Welcome back. Now, I'm proud to have this next customer come stage. Meredith is a media trailblazer that really few companies have matched in how they've up-leveled their data strategy throughout the marketplace. Now, as I told you before we left for break, Alysia Borsa was here last year, and she crushed it. And now we're going to double down. They've doubled down on the talent. So I've got Alysia Borsa and Marc Rothschild from Meredith to come on and talk about how their peer-to-peer data sharing creates new opportunities for marketers and media companies alike. So if you would please help me welcome Alysia and Marc to the stage.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rapping like Mr. Magic Molly Mall.
I was originally planning to come out on stage dancing, but since I have absolutely no rhythm, I thought that might hurt my credibility a little bit. So anyway, good morning, everyone. We're really excited to be here. I want to talk to you about Meredith and the partnerships that we're forging with some of the major brands in the marketplace. So let me start off by telling you that Meredith reaches 110 million women across a variety of brands and platforms, and at every major life stage, even throughout her day. So she engages with us through content, through unique experiences, and through commerce. So our consumers come to us, they engage with us, and many are in store within 24 hours. That means we're in a really powerful position to integrate and activate against a vast amount of first-party interest and intent data at scale across both anonymous and known users. So we understand her interests because we see over 3 billion visits a year. We send 6 billion emails. We sign up 6 million new online registered users, and we have over 30 million consumer subscriptions. So we marry all of this interest-related data with the 200 million monthly intent signals and actions that we see from our consumers. So our consumers are quite often raising their hand and telling us, I made it, I did it. She's searching for home services. She's creating shopping lists and collections. She's clicking to buy. All of this helps us to understand her intent, to engage her more, and identify new opportunities. So we have a vast amount of data. We've also been at this for quite a while. So we've been working with Krux. This slide says 4+ years, but I checked it. It'll have been 5 years as of June. As a side note, I was here for the first Krux Data Matters, and there were 50 of us. And a lot has changed and happened, but Krux has been a key partner for us throughout our journey. But we've been working with Krux for 4+ years. We've been integrating all of our data sets into the platform. We've been creating and remapping thousands of audience segments on an ongoing and continuous basis. And this is really important, and I've heard it in a couple of presentations. You know, we build segments and audiences, we learn, we succeed, we fail, and we rebuild. It's a continuous process, and it should be for everyone who does this. We build audiences based on life stages, based on intent, based on purchase cycle or psychographics and demographics, really, really robust segments. Now, at Meredith, we have our own data lake and data infrastructure that we manage in-house. We have for years and years. And we've been using Krux as a platform to activate that data for marketers. But we also use that data and those audiences across our entire business. And I went into a lot more detail last year, but we use Krux to target and drive consumer subscriptions and commerce business, just to name a couple of other areas that we leverage the platform for. Okay, so not only have we been working with Krux for 4 or 5 years, building and learning against all of our audiences, but we've seen it evolve. So in the last 12 to 24 months in particular, we really leveraging Krux as a platform for more advanced capabilities and insights, and as a key link to marketers. So on the Meredith side, for example, we are able to directly activate against our own advanced analytics capabilities. So my BI team is building and leveraging real-time consumer profiles against both known and anonymous users. This is a really important function and capability that we are building out because we don't see consumers as one static profile. I fit multiple different profiles throughout the day. We're also building proprietary insights, leveraging years and years of both online and offline data. We're identifying trends. We're identifying key intent signals. We're identifying new white space for some of our key clients. We also have a really robust taxonomy against all of our content categories. And in food in particular, not only is it robust, but it's complex and unlike any other in the industry. So my BI team, and by the way, the taxonomy that we have, because it's so robust and complex, not all of that is available in the Krux platform. So my BI team can take advantage of our complete taxonomy, our insights, and our consumer profiling capabilities to identify robust audiences for some of our key clients, and then upload that directly into Krux to target against. And those audiences can supplement and complement the audiences that we're building within the Krux platform itself. On the marketer side, and I'm sure many marketers in the room would agree, Krux has provided you with a platform to easily integrate data and share data and target. A lot of the marketers that we're working with will actually share their audiences and their segments with us, as well as their consumer engagement data, be it around campaigns, O&O, or CRM type data. What that allows us to do in the Krux platform is to identify net new consumers for them, and using Krux tools to be able to profile their segments. So if a marketer is using PBT data to create an audience, we can help you better understand who that audience is. And then obviously all of that data helps us to build and optimize campaigns even more effectively. So robust data and capabilities. I'm going to hand it over to Marc Rothschild now, who is head of digital, to talk about how we're leveraging all of this data and capabilities to build deep partnerships with some of our key clients.
Thank you, Alysia. Good morning, everybody. So, you know, as you all just heard, Meredith has been at this with Krux for many, many years. And if you are a marketer in the room, you know that big data is hard. It is overwhelming, and it is confusing. And the experience that we have, our sort of errors, our trials and tribulations over the years, has taught us an immense amount of information and helped us build our own business. And what I want to talk to you about today is how we're leveraging that experience to help our most strategic marketers build their business and continue to grow. So, you know, we have a lot of acronyms and buzzwords and catchphrases in our industry. And one of the ones that always sort of makes me roll my eyes is, you know, the right ad to the right person at the right time. And when I thought about why that sort of irked me, it's because we've been hearing it for 15 years. And the promise of it is still not realized today. I think at best, we've seen it realized as it relates to display inventory, to banner advertising. And what you've heard from so many marketers today, we heard it from Georgia Pacific, we just heard it from Ron from Heineken, Mark Pritchard at P&G has gotten up and talked about it. I could name 50 marketers over the past year that have talked about the importance of branding in digital, the importance of storytelling, of emotively connecting with consumers in digital. And if we're going to realize the true promise of digital, it is going to necessitate that we begin to leverage data for more than just banners. So how are we at Meredith doing it? You see up on the screen, we are now leveraging data and insights to impact every single part of our strategic partnership strategy. We have clients that are using our data and insights to help shape creative strategy, product strategy, packaging strategy. We're working with clients on content strategy, not just what content to originally create, but how to natively introduce good creative at scale to different swaths of consumers. We've built an influencer marketing platform, and we are leveraging data and insights to understand on a brand-by-brand basis which influencers to pull forward for a particular brand. We acquired a shopper marketing platform in 2015. You heard Alysia talk about the fact that we sit on top of massive amounts of consumption data because 50% of our audience is coming to us and about to step in store. We bought a shopper marketing platform that allows us to introduce products to her while she is in that process to help her accomplish and experience what she set out to go do. We are, of course, continue to leverage data for our programmatic business and our display business, whether a brand wants to purchase that inventory programmatically or via an IO. So what does this look like as applied to specific partners? You heard from Dow and Kate yesterday from Georgia Pacific. We announced a strategic partnership with them in 2015, which at that point was the largest branded content initiative in the market. Sort of quietly, we started working with them to build audience segments collaboratively on who we thought their audience was. We utilized Nielsen to start to measure the content and media targeted towards those segments and saw a 44% lift in purchase intent. Where has that led us? We now, as we continue to work with GP, have engaged in a content strategy designed to continue the dialogue with consumers. You heard Ron talk about the importance of continuing the dialogue now. So we have to continue to get in front of them and remind them. And we're also building new segments to understand where their new consumers are going to be. What are the white space? What are the new segments that are going to test well and be effective in driving loyalty and sales? Conagra has been one of the leaders in this space. And they are leveraging us, not just from a media perspective, but we're doing really all kinds of interesting up-funnel strategic work with them. One of the brands came to us to try to understand what the potential impact would be if he changed the packaging sizes. Alicia's team worked hard to start to understand consumption habits related to that packaging, and we came back with an analysis of how consumers were consuming that product to help shape a critical business decision. We are working with them to help them understand when and what new products to launch, what flavor profiles are operational and what should be launched for which season. Which ingredients are trending to help them shape future alignment and innovations for their products. So really up-funnel strategic stuff. You can see, I don't know if you can see it, but on the bottom of the slide, you'll see just a more tactical example. Our insights team identified that there was a lift in tomato consumption in the mornings. What we set out to do then is to take a segment that we had already built of tomato consumers, add on a segment of people that we know are breakfast aficionados, and engage in a content and media strategy designed to speak to those people that we knew were trending up. Very, very powerful. Initial results are in. We can't share them yet today, but they're looking very, very positive. And these are just some of the examples, obviously, of the type of work we're doing. We're working across 9 different Conagra brands and really doing deep insights and data with 5 of them in a given year. Finally, Clorox. Clorox has been a phenomenal partner of ours. We are working with them now to take what we understand of their consumers and how they're purchasing in an offline world, taking a little bit of data in an online world, and then helping them map their offline consumers to what we believe will be segments of consumers most apt to consume cleaning products. One of the coolest things that we're doing is in working with one particular brand, we have actually gone behind the scenes and built a whole new, you heard Alysia talk about our taxonomy and its complexity. We've gone out and built a whole new taxonomy for a particular brand to help them speak to a particular swath of consumers for a product that they have that they think is going to resonate. So I hope this just gives you a small sense of the type of way that we are now able to help our strategic marketing partners. So where do we go from here? Sort of 4 trends that sort of we're seeing in the marketplace now. I think you've heard so much of it today, but more and more brands are consolidating budgets with fewer and fewer partners that can help drive sales and other key brand health metrics. And we see that trend continuing. And so particularly with the duopoly of Facebook and Google being responsible for the majority of digital ad growth here in the United States, it's become increasingly important for publishers like us to be able to really add value up funnel and upstream to brands and have them leverage us to understand how best to reach a new swath of consumers. And I think you'll see that trend continue. Media beyond context. Again, this is something that has applied exclusively to display and banners. You can have display that follows a particular consumer around, and we've all seen that. But what we haven't seen today is actually brands using storytelling and branding in non-endemic environments. And we're now starting to work with what I would call sort of non-endemic partners. We're starting to work with a beauty company on understand how food consumption habits, how fitness habits, and how becoming a new mom impact beauty purchases, frequency, and types of product. We're working with financial institutions to understand and build segments around life stages to understand how women going through a particular life stage change their credit card and investment strategies. So I think we're going, as we've seen in display, I think we're going to continue as brands are looking for new scaled ways to reach their consumer wherever they are. I think we're going to see more of the creative aspects of our industry apply in non-endemic environments. Third, data makes strange bedfellows. And what has started for us years ago as bilateral partnerships with marketers are now becoming multilateral partnerships. And so if you take the example that I just gave of someone who's about to go shopping and we know that she's about to enter, based on the season that she's, or what she's doing, she's about to entertain, we can not only sort of help her with the products that she's going to buy, we can now direct her to a retailer and tell her where to buy it. And being able to deliver that full funnel to a consumer is something that's very powerful. And those types of alignments traditionally have only existed in an offline context, in a shopper marketing context. We're starting to see that move online. Similarly, from a publisher perspective, we're no longer working potentially with just brand in those scenarios. If I know that she's going out to host a party, I know that she might need paper plates and garbage bags and dessert and beer. And being able to help her complete and finish that experience is of critical importance to us to make her come back to us the next time that she wants to do that. And if we can integrate brands into that conversation, multiple brands, that's a positive for our consumers, and we're seeing these multilateral partnerships start to occur in a way that's very additive to our consumer experience. Lastly, I'm passionate about this, I've written about it. Digital will never fulfill its full promise if we don't start to see a marriage of creativity, of emotive brand building, and data. The folks that we've listed here are at the front end of the game in doing that, okay? But the majority of marketers that we talk to have groups over here that deal with data and programmatic and banners, and have groups over here that deal with creative and storytelling. And until those two things merge, until we recognize, creative to the masses is never going to go away, but until we recognize that consumers are coming to us for very different reasons, and you can take a great story and morph it to tell it to them in a way that resonates and in a scaled fashion, the true promise of digital, I think, has not been realized. And that's where I think I see the future evolving, and the future for publishers and marketers evolving. So Thank you to Krux for helping us on this journey and for being such an amazing partner to us. And thank you to all for listening.